how long you'd like to serve.
So I'd like to serve as long as I could, as long as the voters would elect me. I do think, as you've said, that Jack Hill was there for 30 years. His influence was immense, both here in our district and at the state level. That doesn't happen in 2 or 4 years. I'm in it for the long term. But what I would tell you that as a freshman senator, should I be elected, is that I have experience in the healthcare field. That's what I do on a daily basis. And with healthcare being the second biggest part of the budget, I certainly think I could hit the ground running and move forward in that arena. Certainly education, being on the school board would help, but it really comes down to what could you do to do that as a freshman senator. The other thing is I've been involved at the state level. I've been the president of the Medical Association of Georgia. I've been chair of what they call the Council of Legislation. So I've been up to Atlanta for the past 15 years, dealing with bills, trying to help with legislation for hospitals and for physicians and for patients. So I've been there and I've done that. So I think my presence there already would help, and then certainly in the healthcare arena would only augment that at the present time. So I would love to serve as long as I was able to be elected, and I think that would only bring great influence back to this district after Senator Hill's unfortunate passing. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Singleton?
I've said from the beginning, and I believe in term limits. I would want to serve as long as possible, but I also don't want to outserve my citizens, meaning that if the citizens come to me and start saying, Neil, you're not doing your job, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to hang up my hat and let somebody else come in. Of course, I want to be there as long as possible, and I also want to be there at no taxpayer cost. As I've stated before, I don't want to be a burden to the tax citizens, and I want to refuse the salary. So I believe that shows my dedication on how long I want to serve, and that's forever. If I'm in for 30 years, I don't want a salary. And I would love to be there 30 years. I really don't see that happening, but I want to be there to where I'm long enough I can make influence, I can make change, and once I'm done, or citizens say I'm done, and somebody else comes in, it was time for me to go, I go.
Thank you. Ms. Palmer?
Thank you. I want to serve as long as I can be an effective senator, but I'm really thinking more like 8 or 10 years if the voters would be willing to elect me to serve that long. I think that we are all concerned about term limits with all of our elected officials. I hear that repeated over and over again as I talk to people across the district. Also, I think that things change rapidly these days. Technology changes, life changes, people change. It's hard to keep up with all that. This district may be completely different within the next 8 to 10 years, the next decade. We're in a census year right now. We're going to have redistricting soon. It's pretty clear that South Georgia is going to lose a senatorial district to the northern part of Georgia where the population is so much larger. So in fact, maybe by 2022, this senatorial district is going to look completely different as it is. And I think that the elected representative needs to be responsive to the needs of the people. So I want to be effective as a senator, and I think I have the abilities to do that. I'm good at advocating, I'm good at problem solving, and I think I know I'll be a great senator. But I do realize that change is coming, and that if that change requires another senator, then 8 to 10 years from now, I think I'll be ready to let the next generation take that on. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hickman?
Thank you. I do believe in term limits. I think that there's a lot of problems in Washington right now because people have been up there too long. And I think that's what the general consensus of the public is. I also want to serve 8 years. I think 4 2-year terms is enough, and then you get new blood in there, new ideas. I'm very concerned about the census. Our district right now, the only county that I see, the only county in the district that is at least equal to the state average as far as census reporting is Effingham County. All the other counties are below that. So that really concerns me that we've got a lot of apathy in the other counties. And we need to figure that out because, as Judge Palmer said, we think that there'll probably be a decrease. That's my platform. I want economic development for rural Georgia. With economic development, we got jobs in these areas. These kids will stay in these areas. I also know that in the Senate it's 56 people, and I really believe as I told you earlier, there's three types of people in the world: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder what happens. And I'm one of those people that want to make things happen. I really believe that I can move up in a leadership position, and I will make a difference. And I will speak out for South Georgia. You know, we all know there's two Georgias. There's a Georgia up there, and there's the rest of us. And we want to make sure that we get our fair share of all the appropriations and the benefits that need to come to us. Thank you.